Hello and welcome to my first YouTube repair video. If you're here, it's probably for one of two reasons. Either you have a drill that stopped working and you want to figure out how to fix it, or you're just generally interested in how to fix a drill. If your drill is broken, I hope this makes you feel a little bit better, but the problem is probably what I'm going to demonstrate in this video, and the parts to fix that aren't that expensive. But before I spoil too much of the video, let's just get into it. You've just seen me demonstrate that this impact is functional. So I'm going to take the casing off just to show you what it looks like inside. It's definitely a bit dirty, but that's not really an issue. I do want you to take note of how long the brushes in this drill are. You can see that the little spring arm is almost extended all the way to the end of that, little metal housing. Those are close to new brushes. These are generally the quickest part to wear just because when that drill is spinning, it's taking little particles of the brushes off every single rotation. So, those are going to be the first ones to go. And it's kind of designed that way. You can buy this part pretty easily. I would recommend buying the ones with screws. I'm going to show it on screen here. They're only about $12 on Amazon, and they'll get to your house within a week. I think if you live in the United States, it's probably quicker. So this is the drill I'm going to be working on today. Now, I haven't received the new brush components that I've ordered, so I'm just going to be cannibalizing this first drill onto the second one just to demonstrate to you how simple it is to fix this. When you're taking the brushes off of your motor, you're probably not going to be in this situation if the brushes are all worn out. But if they are catching on the motor, you'll notice with these little spring arms, there's a little groove up there, and you can just flick them into that, and then the brushes will slide better outwards. So when you're taking the motor off, they won't catch as much. I've zoomed in here to give you a good view of what brushes look like new versus old. You can see when the spring arm is fully extended in the housing. The newer brushes on the right stick out to pretty much halfway past the center of the housing, where on the left, it barely sticks out at all. You can also see some of the copper wire has burned off and is no longer attached to the brushes. Another quick visual inspection you can do to see if your drill is arcing is by looking at the motor. For the motor on the right, you can see that the plastic material is pretty white. It's not receding at all. It looks fine. But this one on the left, it seems to have yellowed or oranged. It seems to be receding quite a bit. You can even see these little copper protrusions sticking out more and more. This almost seems like if it continued to arc, you probably wouldn't want to use this motor in the future. If this brush array is your problem, which it likely is, all you have to do is remove these two screws, order the part. Once it gets to you, just put it back into place. Yeah, I would take a photo beforehand just to make sure that you get the red wire and the black wire on the right sides. When you're putting this back, keep in mind that on both sides of the brush array, there's these two square grooves, and they fit right into these two square spots on the plastic into this little holding area. You want to get it pretty precise in there. Before you install it, you want to put the motor between those brushes and the magnetic piece in there, because it's kind of tough that if you don't have all these pieces together to actually fit them together, once everything's in its place. Now you just want to fit the front of your motor into the gear assembly, which is the front metal part, and stick everything back together. Use your screws. I would do it the way I do it in this video. First, make sure the front of the casing fits onto the back half. Then put 4 screws in the gear assembly and tighten them all together. Half tighten one, half tighten the other, and then move your way around like that. That'll ensure that you don't misalign anything by tightening one side too much and it shifting the motor over or anything like that. Then do the front casing. Make sure that you do a quick visual inspection that no wires are sticking out causing the front casing not to fit, just double check before you put too many screws in, because you're going to have to take them out if there's any problem. Thank you for watching the video. I hope this solved your issue.